Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to April. This is Gwendolyn. Welcome back to the channel. Or if it's your first time here, welcome. This video is going to be a monthly Tarotscope for April for Sag. And as I'm shuffling the deck here, I want to talk a little bit about what's happening in the sky in April. I'm also using the Vision Quest tarot deck. I just got this one recently and I'm loving it. I love all the Native American symbolism and imagery in it. It's just such a pleasure to use this deck. So anyway, with April, the first 2 weeks of April, we are having the remainder of that Mercury retrograde in Aries, and that is doing all kinds of stuff in terms of communication. Usually when Mercury retrogrades happen, it affects communication, it makes things go backwards, sometimes get a little haywire or scrambled, or it's just, Mercury is the trickster, and so it's just sort of like communication can get a little just scrambled, I guess is the best way to put it. And when we have a Mercury retrograde in a particular sign, it usually brings out the lower aspects or the shadow aspects of that sign. And we've got it currently going retrograde in Aries. So the lower aspects of Aries are anger or excess anger, aggression, agitation, people having a hair trigger response to things. So my recommendation, Sag, you're a fire sign, so you can usually handle fire energy, but it might be a good time in the first 2 weeks to just remain in your own natural, optimistic, happy-go-lucky state. It's funny, I'm actually seeing here 5 of fire, which I always call playing versus fighting. And it's to me no coincidence this comes up for you, because you can either choose to engage in the fires that are raging around you, or you can just sort of play and adopt a playful comedy attitude, like, oh, there's that Mercury retrograde in Aries again. That's what's going on. So first 2 weeks of April, you can either choose to get into the arena with all the excess fire that's going on and, have people try to involve you in their dramas, or you can just kind of laugh at it and be like, okay, well, that's happening over there, and I'm just gonna be playful and happy and not engage. So Mercury retrogrades are really best times to reflect, to kind of go backwards with the energy, reflect and review, to rest and relax, to complete old projects that were left undone, things that have to do with going back to the past and crossing T's, dotting I's, that sort of thing, wrapping up any sort of loose ends. And then April 15th, Mercury will go back direct and we'll have a new moon in Aries. And that is what will highlight the high side of Aries. That will be a time to push forward on things, to break through barriers. It's got a lot of initiating action to it. It's got passion, optimism, vitality. That's all stuff that you Sagittarius can relate to. So I would just say, wait till the middle of the month to implement new ideas and go forward with them at that time. So let's see what comes up for Sag here in April. Looks like we open up with 6 of water reversed, and then we have Magician, 4 of water, abundance, and then followed by 5 of water, loss. Interesting. We have Mother of Fire, which is equivalent to the Queen of Wands. Medicine Man, by the way, is equivalent to Magician energy. Then we have the Hermit, 7 of Wands, which is called Endurance here. The Queen of Cups, or the Mother of Water, reversed. 8 of Air, which is called Interference here. That's equivalent to the 8 of Swords. Vision Quest, which is the number 12 card. 6 of Earth, Breakthrough. Really interesting energy here for you, Sag, towards the end of April. I really am liking seeing that. And Balance, how beautiful. I'm already looking towards this end of the month here for you. we're getting a full moon at the end of the month, and I'm really liking the cards that are coming up. But it looks like you may need to release yourself from something to get there. But this is really worth arriving at, and I'll get to that as we come to the end. Bottom of the deck, by the way, I see 4 of air, which is contemplation. And that is perfect energy for April, for the beginning 2 weeks of April. We actually started April with this full moon in Libra. Really good time to just reflect on things, to think things over, again, have peace and quiet and rest and relaxation. And then I see you opening the month with a couple different things going on. There's lots of water energy, first of all, which is emotional energy. We have 6 of Cups, 4 of Cups, and 5 of Cups, all along with Medicine Man, which is Magician. And what these cards tell me is that you can create whatever it is that you choose. Medicine Man or Magician has all the tools and resources at his disposal. And this could be either male or female. And Medicine Man has a dream and puts it into action. He's the abracadabra card. I say it and therefore it is so. Whatever I speak, I create in front of me. And the power of Magician is that he applies concentration and focus towards one goal. And is not distracted from it, and is therefore able to create it. So what I'm going to say, Sag, is that you have the power to envision what it is you would like to create here at the beginning of April. I'm going to say again, it's probably wise not to go forward on that until the middle of April, when we get this 7 of Wands energy, or the Hermit energy. But Medicine Man Magician tells me you've got all the tools you need. You've got the vision. It's a great time to dream and create. It's a great time to accept leadership and authority in your own life. It's actually, this works really well with Mercury energy. Mercury is the ruler of this card. So it's really sort of like your mind can sort of be like Quicksilver when this card shows up. And with all this water energy, I'm going to ask you, what is your emotional life like at the beginning of April, Sag? It looks like you've got a lot of different choices here. I see 6 of Cups in reverse. It may mean sadness over the past. Usually 6 of Cups means reunion. Here it's called pleasure. It means looking back to things that are from the past, from our childhood, or someone that we used to know. I'm kind of getting that you may have some sort of sadness over an old friendship or an old relationship, someone you used to know, and now you're in a place, this is called abundance. Sometimes it's in a place of wondering, like, is that all there is? Like, all my vessels are full, but yet I don't feel satisfied. Or it could just be that you have come to a place where you've let go of some things that don't hold water for you, and you're like, I'm satisfied with these. I'm satisfied with these close 4 friends. Or I was feeling a little bored and aloof, so I'm just going to let the water be still. And 5 of Cups talks to that as well. It's saying, you know, sometimes you have to cut your losses and just hold on to the ones that hold water for you. 5 of water, which is called loss here, can mean feeling left out in the cold, feeling like feeling some sort of loss. So I do see that there may be some sort of focus on something from the past that was lost, or something that left you feeling a little bit drained. You know, you may have had to cut your losses, is what I'm seeing on this, but you still have plenty of abundance, of emotional abundance. It's just, it's kind of fluctuating is what I'm seeing here, from 6 to 4 to 5. There's a story here about the change from the full moon to the new moon. You may be letting go of things that are emotionally, things that you have put your emotions into in the past that didn't hold water for you. I see the water draining out here, and I see the water draining out here. So it's really about making a choice of which vessels hold water for you. And that may be the focus of the opening of April, Sag. Where do you put your heart energy where it sustains you, where you get to collect the water as opposed to it draining away? And that might be a process that you're going through, but evaluating that between that full moon that we open at the beginning of the month to the new moon that we're going to get in the middle of the month at new moon in Aries on the 15th. So let's see what else is coming up. You've got two queens here. One is the Queen of Fire. I'm reading this as you, Sag, whether male or female. And the Queen of Fire is sunny and radiant and optimistic. She's a person of action. She likes to get things done. She's very confident and very attractive and always comes back with a witty comeback. She's got a great sense of humor. So I'm seeing you, excuse me, as kind of going within. This is Hermit energy. So with Queen of Wands, even though she's very active and sunny, I get that, you know, maybe this is how you're presenting yourself to the world because this is your natural energy, Sag. But I also get that Hermit energy is really going to serve you here in the middle of April. Sort of going within and asking yourself, what is really true? What is true for me? What is, if I tune out all the noise and chatter from the rest of the world, what is it that's true for me? Where's my fire burning? Where is my truth? Because these are all fire cards. Well, Hermit's a major arcana that represents Virgo, so it's actually related more to the earth and the mountains here, but I'm focusing on the fire because it's for you, Sag. So I'm really seeing that by going within and contemplating where your truth is at, you actually get to a place where you begin to defend your boundaries, where you get to stand up for what it is that you believe in. Seven of Fire is called endurance. So by connecting to your inner wisdom, your inner guru, your inner truth, and tuning out all the chatter of the outside world, you actually get really clear on where your boundaries are. It actually gives you more endurance, more strength. This card is also known as success despite adversity. So if you're feeling in any kind of way about having to make these choices about where you invest your emotional energy, Sag, you can create whatever you want. You're just going to have to tap into this Hermit energy, which is getting quiet and listening to the voice within. And that's going to give you a lot of endurance going forward, success despite adversity, a lot of fortitude. And it's very interesting to me, too, you've got the card that represents strength showing up here at the end of the month. And you've got this wonderful line here of Magician, Hermit, and then Vision Quest. So it's quite the story of imagining what it is that you would like to create, getting really, I'm going to hold these up, imagining what it is that you would like to create, getting really clear on what your truth is, what your inner knowledge is, where truth with a capital T is for you, and then Vision Quest, which is kind of like putting that out into the world and saying, okay, I'm ready to go do it. I'm ready to go live this dream of mine. So I'm really liking all of this imagery for you, Sag. It's really quite a progression of, it's saying you're ready. And certainly by the end of the month, when you get this breakthrough and this balance, you are definitely ready. So I'm just liking that storyline that I'm seeing in the cards for you. It's going to take a little bit of sorting at the beginning of the month of like, who deserves my heart energy and who doesn't? Who's an intact pot versus who is a cracked pot? You know, who is a damaged vessel or what endeavor do I no longer want to give heart energy to? What would I like my life to look like in terms of my heart space? And then you get really clear on what's true for you, defend your boundaries, and you have the potential to feel really emotionally balanced if you're not feeling that way right now. This is Queen of Cups in the tarot, and that can represent a water sign. So that could be Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. This could be someone that you feel there is some sort of loss related to them, like you've lost out on something, or there's just loss related to this person. Or potentially it could represent you feeling a little bit unbalanced emotionally. So I see you correcting that by the end of the month, but this process is really going to help you, Sag. If you're feeling a little bit sad or, you know, just I don't know if regretful is the word, or just somber perhaps, about having to make choices about what you emotionally invest in or not, this process is really going to help you, and it may help turn this card right side up, because in the upright, Queen of Cups is very emotionally balanced. She's very caring. She's very loving. This says to me you may have your heart closed off a little bit because you've had to do this, because you're just sort of getting quiet and defending your space in order to feel safe, maybe, or just clear on where you're at. And this may also be related to what you have to release yourself from. This is 8 of air, or 8 of feathers in this case, and it's called interference. I get that it may be related to this Queen of Cups. So you may have to release a grudge against a water sign person. You're actually shown here in some sort of imprisonment of your mind. So what I'm going to ask is, when this card shows up, what is it that you can release in terms of your thinking that will help you feel free, that will help you fly again? 8 of Swords usually means victim mentality, or feeling like you're captive, feeling like you're powerless in a situation. And normally in this card it depicts a woman surrounded by swords who has a way to walk forward out of the swords, but she doesn't realize it. In the Rider-Waite, for example, she's blindfolded and bound. But in this card too, it's just feathers that are surrounding this. It's just thoughts. So what can you release in terms of your thoughts, Sag, especially towards the end of the month, that will help you to feel more free? That's a big word for you guys. Once you're able to do that, look at all the great things that come. Vision Quest, Breakthrough, 6 of Earth, and Balance, which is also the card of Strength. This is the card of Strength. So when everything's balanced, look at all the greenery here. Look at all the flowers. Look at all the sunlight. This is really great energy for you, Sag. It's really, optimistic, headed for new horizons. It really reflects your energy well, Sag. This is so not you. 8 of Swords is kind of like a Sag that's tied to a rock or something. It's not you. It's not your energy at all. So what thoughts do you need to release that are keeping you feeling bound or restricted, or in any way imprisoned or captive to something? You can release that, Sag. You absolutely can, and look at where you're headed. So the sooner that you can do that, the sooner that you can emotionally balance yourself, because that's what the beginning of this month is really about. Look at all this water energy. It's mostly about water here, and it's about you getting clear about what your truth is and being willing to stand up and declare it. It leads you here, Sag. So I'm going to say release yourself from any thoughts that make you feel victimized, that make you feel captive. Don't give your mental attention away to anything or any old stories that make you feel captive or powerless. This is what you have. You can see a new day. You can break through this and find that balance and order towards the end of the month. That is just such a beautiful card for you. It's you sitting in your own strength, Sag. So I love that for you. That's my reading for you, Sagittarius, for April. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up or share it with another Sagittarius who you think might also like it. And if you'd ever like to book a personal reading with me, you can do that by visiting my website, readingsbygwendolyn.com. And as always, I just want to thank everyone so much for watching. Have a beautiful April, Sagittarius. I look forward to doing your reading again next month. Yours in the stars.